So Marvel Rivals has been out for a solid few months now, and I love this game. I've been consistently playing it since it's come out. That's because I've loved competitive multiplayer games ever since I was but a wee lad playing Call of Duty in my tighty whities in my living room. But ever since Fortnite, for me at least, Marvel Rivals ranked / competitive may just be simultaneously the most fun game to play and the most frustrating game to play. And that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. The things that I absolutely hate about playing this game in ranked. But before I get into that, let me tell you about the supporter of today's video. There's never been a better time to start playing this game. With over 5 million active players every month, they have to be doing something right. And with the game's 6th anniversary, they're going all out in rewards players can receive. And of course I'm talking about the game that you guys have probably heard of, Raid Shadow Legends. New players are getting insane bonuses right now that I wish I had when I started, with these champions and benefits you get to get a head start. And with Raid supporting the video today, if you download the game using my link or QR code on screen, you'll get an exclusive anniversary package worth $60 of in-game benefits, including epic champion Zargala, and it gets even better with Supreme Gallic, a legendary beast, just use the promo code Supreme6, Sun Wukong, another legendary, use code Monkey King, and Alice the Wanderer, a special limited time legendary you can get just for logging in 7 days before March 26th. And speaking of Alice the Wanderer, let's talk about Alice's Adventure, the latest event that's come out. They just dropped 5 brand new legendary champions inspired by Alice in Wonderland: the Cheshire Cat, Mad Hatter, Queen of Hearts, Knave of Hearts, and of course Alice the Wanderer, who you can get for free again just by logging in for 7 days. And the best part, all 5 legendaries are available through in-game events, so both new and existing players can jump in and get them. So if you haven't started playing Raid yet, why not give the game a try, as there's never been a better time. Just hit my link in the description or scan my QR code to grab your exclusive $60 anniversary package with Zargala and more. Oh, one more thing, you can come find me in game under Colin on YT and join my clan, which is named Colin's Crib. We're building an army, so if you want to level up fast, now's your chance and, get in on the action. This is a limited time event, so don't miss out. Hit that link, claim your rewards, and I'll see you in game. And with all that said, now let me get into talking about what I hate about Marvel Rivals Ranked. Now for context, I'm currently Celestial 3 and my peak is Celestial 2, 80 out of 100 in like the elo. And mind you, I've dropped from Celestial 2 all the way to GM 2 in 1 day. And now you might be thinking, wow, you dropped that much in that little time? And yes, that's because my first problem I'm about to bring up. The government agents. I swear on everything I love, there's not a single time I play this game, in anything other than a 6-stack, where I won't run into the most brain-dead fucking baboon imaginable on my team. It genuinely feels at points like I'm Neo from the Matrix. In every other game, I have Agent Smith on my team insta-locking fucking Rocket Raccoon, while the other team probably has a meta team comp. And listen, I don't think Rocket is that bad of a support when you're playing in a coordinated team, you run infinite ammo, or if it's triple support, but that's about the only time that I think Raccoon is a fine support choice. But when I'm playing with randoms, and this motherfucker sees that nobody wants to play Bucky or Punisher, and nobody that really meshes well with Rocket being one of our supports, especially if we only have 2, they basically force you to play something you might not want to play just because they want to sit back and spam right click the whole game, playing that brain dead fucking character. Like I've had team comps like Hela, Loki, Thor, Strange, Luna, or Cloak and Dagger, and the other support decides, yeah, I'm gonna go Rocket, or I'm gonna play Jeff, or I'm gonna play fucking Adam Warlock. Like, you fucking idiot. What value do you morons bring to this team comp? Nothing. And then after we use our one support ult, I'm just patiently waiting to hear legendary, or by the eye of Agamotto. And I just gotta sit there like a dickhead while my Rocket sits there in the back talking about some, hey team, enjoy the amplifier, suck my fucking dick. And it's not just support players either. They just so happen to be the more annoying ones. Because there will be some idiot that sees we only have 1 tank player on our team, and the tank that they decide to lock in is The Thing, or Thor, or Captain America. And I hate when I'll ask, like, yo, can we switch this up or that before the game starts? And you'll have that one guy either be like, nah, fuck you, and I'll just be like, oh, alright, fuck me, I guess. Or you'll have another guy be like, bro, the game just started, we haven't even seen if it'll work yet. As if this is like the first time this dog shit team comp has ever been devised? Like, no, you dumbass, people have played a lot of team comps and played a lot of games. And being in higher ranks, you should know what works and what doesn't. And you should also know what counters what. And I'm not saying that a dog shit team comp can never work, but what I'm saying is, most of the time, it won't work. And you would think that given the fact that, people have made it to things like Celestial or GM1 or GM2, that they would know these things, right? But no, people in this game are fucking bonobo apes. There are so many people in GM, and even Celestial for that matter, that just should not be where they are. And I don't know if it's because of things like people getting boosted by their friends, people buying accounts, or the theorized engagement-based matchmaking that people have been talking about, which I 100% believe in. Loser's queue is real. You're not convinced convincing me it's not. At least once you reach GM. Like, I'll see people stuck in, like, gold or platinum or diamond and be like, nah, it's the loser's queue, that's why I can't climb. Hell nah. If you're in anything under GM and you cannot climb, you're bad at the game. Simply put, you suck at the game. I'm not saying you can't run into unwinnable games in the lower ranks. All I'm simply saying is that if you're stuck in those ranks, you suck. But this is a massive problem in the game right now, and I think one of the causes of that issue is the fact that it is so easy to rank up in the game. Like, I think this meme right here pretty much perfectly summarizes what I'm talking about up.
What a joke. I worked my ass off to get where I am, and you take these shortcuts and you think suddenly you're my peer? I committed my life to this. You don't slide into it like a cheap pair of slippers and then reap all the rewards.
You can rank up in this game simply but just by playing a lot, which is why you see people in GM or even Celestial with a sub 50% win rate in your games. Hell, you could even have someone who's actually like really good at the game with a sub 50% win rate just because their luck with randoms and the rank that, like, GM probably most likely, the rank they've been stuck in for a while, just fucking sucks. Because when you solo queue or even like quadruple queue, you always get more elo per win than you lose. So that allows a lot of dog shit players to end up in the same rank as you, even if you're a million times better. And I hate when, like, you're like a guy's doing dog shit and you'll have that one guy that's like trying to be nice on the team, like, guys, we're all the same rank, we're all the same skill level here. No, the fuck we're not. I'm out here 33-0 and our fucking Bucky has 0 final hits. What are you talking about? We're the same level of skill. Fuck out of my face.
No, you shut up! Don't talk to me! Don't talk to me, criminal!
Sugar rush.
And listen, I'm not saying it's never the fault of me or the people I'm queuing with when I lose a game, but 9 times out of 10, whenever I lose a game, it's because Agent Smith was on my team. And I've seen people be like, oh, there's nothing wrong with the rank system. If you just focus on yourself, you will climb and improve as a player. Stop blaming your teammates. And, you know, that can be true to some extent, but once you reach GM, that shit becomes like, I don't even know. It's like trying to fucking climb Mount Everest. For context, right? I play a lot of Psylocke. I play her in 90% of my games because that's the character I'm the best with, and that's the character that I can carry the best with. And in every rank below GM, pretty much I can carry my team. Like, I have a Smurf account I pretty much only played Psylocke on until I just started using it to try different characters. And it wasn't hard to carry in, like, Diamond and below. But the thing about Psylocke, or solo diving with any dive character for that matter, is that the higher you climb, and in GM specifically, I feel like, because that was the rank I was stuck in for the longest time, and it's a rank where 50% of the players should not be there, 30% of the people should be there, and 20% of the people would be higher if not for bad luck with randoms. You will get games where you can do, like, as much as you possibly can to get picks, create pressure, or just to distract their team, but your team still won't take advantage of what you're doing to help you. Like, the hardest thing I run into when playing Psylocke is having the whole team turn around and look at me when I go for a pick, or just when I'm trying to be a distraction, because I'm solo diving, right? And my team still won't recognize, hey guys, they're distracted. I'll even comment in game chat, yo, I have them really distracted, or I'll say, yo, I'm pinching them right now, can you guys walk up, and to make even more pressure? And these brain dead apes will keep playing passively while I'm fighting for my life in the back line. And there's like been multiple times where I've been in games where people in game chat would be like, yo, Psylocke, you suck, you're not getting any picks, our DPS can't kill anything. And it just makes me lose my shit sometimes, because most of the time that I can't get picks, and I'm sure other dive players will relate to this, it's because we have the whole fucking team looking at us when we try to do shit, and our team isn't fucking capitalizing on the pressure we're creating. And this can come down to a string of issues that explain why it can get so hard to carry 5 people in a, 6v6 game, even though it should be obvious why that's hard. But anyways, this can come down to your boosted support players not doing their job and healing consistently enough for the pressure that us divers are creating, or that, other DPS players are creating to be able to be capitalized on. So it forces our other DPS and tanks to play more passively. It can come down to the other DPS on the team just being absolute garbage, or it can come down to tank players not knowing how to create more pressure themselves, or, when to take more space. And the thing I tend to see with a lot of tank players too, is them expecting DPS players to always be the one killing everyone. But what a lot of tank players don't understand is that you also have the ability to fucking kill people. Like, these people don't understand that they too can do a lot of damage. Especially Strange and Magneto players, and Groot players too. And what I hate even more, and probably the most, is when I might be having a tough time getting picks, I'll have a support player telling us, DPS, can you kill something? Like, bitch, maybe your team could kill something if you did your job correctly, or if our tanks weren't absolutely garbage at taking space. Now sit back and hold left click in the backline like the bitch you are. Sorry, that's a little harsh. But support players are the most annoying players to me, because not only do they main the easiest role in the game and be talking shit. Like, there have been times where, like, I'll have a bad support player on my team, right? And then I'll avoid them and then play against them the next game. And if I lose and that same support player starts talking like I was the problem, that shit makes me about to crash out, because you did nothing. You are not the reason you won. There are a million other people that could take your role and do it just as good, if not better than you. But the other reason I find support players the most annoying is when support players consistently make mistakes, whether it be using their ults badly, or double support ulting, or heal botting tanks and forcing DPS players to play passively because they aren't getting healed enough like they should. It genuinely makes me dumbfounded at how you are in the same rank as me. Like, there have been multiple times where I have died and I'll see two supports standing right next to me or like behind me. Like, what the fuck do y'all be doing? Like, I'm sorry, but if you play the easiest role in the game and you make multiple bad or even just really big mistakes in a game, you're fucking garbage. When I play support, it feels like a break. I feel like I can relax when I play support because it's so fucking easy. Another thing I do hate about support players too is when they're getting dove and they think it's always the DPS's fault and the tank's fault for letting them die. And to be fair, a lot of times a support can't do anything to stop dying to a diver. But there's still a lot that a support player can do to stop dying to a diver, such as having better positioning and awareness to see the dive before it even happens. Like, I've seen healers complain about not getting helped in the backline, meanwhile they have the worst positioning possible and they either don't calm that they're getting fucked up, or when they do calm it, they're already at 1 HP and nobody had enough time to react to help them. Like, you gotta understand that as a support, you're sitting in the backline and you have a much more clear view of everything that's happening because you are never as contested or distracted as the DPS players or tanks. So you should have the easiest job in the world to communicate to your team before it's too late and before fucking Black Panther has already hit 2 chain dash resets in a row and you get killed because you decided to calm it when you're at 50 HP. And another thing that support players tend to not understand is that they need to heal each other and stay close to each other when they know that they're getting dove. Like Black Panther, Spider-Man, Magic, etc. will be out of cooldowns and full focused if you guys simply play together and heal each other in most games, and they won't get a pick because you're out healing the combos that they have, even if you're playing with randoms. And I'm not saying you can always stop being killed by divers because you can't, but there are ways to limit the picks that they can get if you simply know how to play against it. And listen, there's a lot more in this specific part of playing ranked that I can talk about, like just people being dumb and not knowing how to play the game, because I've played so many games where I've seen and heard the absolute dumbest shit in my life. Like just yesterday, I was solo queuing and I had a game where we lost the first round of domination, right? And me and the other DPS were both 2 and 4. We wound up winning this game later, but that's irrelevant. After the first round, the tanks were also negative and our 3 healers were the people on the team with a positive KD. So what that might tell you is that the tanks and DPS players were playing badly if the healers are the ones getting the picks, right? But no, that wasn't the case at all. You know what the problem was? These motherfuckers were shooting at people and healing each other instead of healing the rest of our team consistently. At the end of the round, our Bucky pointed out that he's died to Thor 4 times. Mind you, this was a Celestial game, by the way. Just gotta make that known. And the shit that I heard in response to what our Bucky said almost made me turn off my computer. So I pointed out that Bucky's a good counter to Thor, so I don't know what the problem is. How's he dying to Thor that much? And one of our tank players unironically said that Bucky isn't a good counter to Thor.
Are you retarded?
Which is a brain dead statement, right, to anyone above silver. But then on top of that, one of our healers said, and I quote directly, "Bro, I watched you get clobbered by Thor twice. Bucky's not countering Thor." Now, the people with more than one brain cell in their head who just heard that statement should have already noticed the problem. Why the fuck is the Bucky who pulled Thor into our team twice with his hook dying when he's getting hit by a Thor, and we have 3 healers on the team, and you literally just said you watched it happen? Were you not healing him? Maybe if you fucking morons healed him instead of trying to be a DPS, he wouldn't be dying.
Sugar rush.
But now, let me move on to the other problem I have with playing ranked in this game, and that's annoying team comps. And all these other issues are just, problems that come off of kind of what I just talked about for the past, however long. Now, if you're watching this video, you have likely run into team comps such as triple support, or maybe 3 tanks, 3 supports, or triple dive. And there's a big problem that can arise when running into these kinds of comps, and that's your team being uncoordinated while the other team may be coordinated. Now, the best way to beat these annoying team comps is with coordination, and also counter picking, but when playing with randoms, randoms, it's very hard to do that because that's an inherent issue of playing with randoms. And because, you know, a lot of people in ranked are just bad at the game, but got to the same rank as you because of God knows what, I don't even know. And it doesn't matter how much the devs at NetEase try to nerf support ults. Triple support is still annoying to play against, and triple tank triple support is still annoying and still boring to play against. But there's a simple fix that the devs could implement and they don't want to implement, and it's also something that a lot of players seem to not want, but then those same players will complain about playing against these kinds of annoying team comps. And what exactly is that fix? It's role queue. And I'm going to continue saying this because it literally does not hurt the game to just have a normal queue that we already have and a role queue for the people that don't want to deal with that annoying bullshit. The only argument that I've heard against having a separate role queue in ranked is, oh, it splits the player base, quote unquote, right? Now, I think this argument is pretty stupid considering this game has millions of players on both PC and console, and the queue times are basically instant in every rank below eternity. And the other reason I think this is dumb is because how are you going to complain about having matches where you play against triple support, for example, or having multiple teammates that, you know, can only play a specific role, so you can't get the team comp that you need to win, right? And then you're gonna turn around and say, oh, well, role queue is a bad idea. Like, what? Like, the developers and people who argue against role queue will say, oh, we want the players to run whatever they want and have that freedom, right? But as the game stands right now, most games you will not be able to run what you want for the whole match, and you have to start changing your team comp as the other team changes theirs, or you will lose. And on top of the fact that a lot of randoms don't want to do that, the devs literally designed a gameplay loop that is pretty counterintuitive to the whole we want players to have the freedom in team comps, quote unquote, right? Because counterpicking is the gameplay loop at this point. So there's not actually as much freedom as they think we have if we want to, you know, actually win more consistently. I can't run Moon Knight into like Psylocke Magic Black Panther because I'm just gonna get fucked on the whole game. So if there's people that like to run 3 supports, you know, make a role queue for that. If there's people who like to run 3 DPS, make a role queue for that. If there's people who want to run the usual 2 tanks, 2 DPS, 2 supports, make a role queue for that. And if you want to stay in a queue that takes the shortest because you don't want to wait as long in between games, then they could easily just show you how many people are active in a specific game mode or role queue like Fortnite does. Like, the arguments I've heard against, you know, a separate role queue game mode are just really dumb, and it's like really easy to poke holes into. And again, it makes it even worse and more annoying when the same people who say we don't need role queue complain about the exact same things that role queue could fix. And now, before wrapping this video up, I want to talk about my final few problems that are just, you know, shorter. The first thing is when people disconnect from a match and it's too late for the match to be canceled, there's genuinely no reason why the team with that DC should lose elo, and that should be for obvious reasons. You're fighting a 5v6. They need to implement a leave detection so that people won't lose anything when that happens to someone on their team. My second problem, and this is the inverse of what I just talked about, if you DC because your game like crashed or something of that nature, you should not be penalized. You should not lose elo. You should not be, you know, forced into a problem where it's like, oh, you have to wait 15 minutes or whatever. Like, that shit's completely out of your control, and you're penalizing me because your game crashed. That shit is stupid. And then 3, my last issue is the ban system in Diamond and above. And the most annoying part about this system is that they have a better system in the game already for like tournament formats and custom games. Like, double banning is so genuinely annoying. Like, why can't they just simply make the normal ranked ban system the same as it is in the tournaments, where one team gets to ban what they want, then team 2 goes, and so on and so forth? It's such a simple thing that's literally already in the game, and I don't know why they won't change it. But with all that said, that's the gist of my problems with Marvel Rivals Ranked right now. I still do love this game, and I think it's great, but goddamn, does this shit piss me off sometimes. Don't forget to use my Raid Shadow Legends link in the description or scan my QR code to get the insane bonuses for new players with 2 epic champions. I thank you all for watching, and yeah.